Ian, head of operations here at MFNY. We're in one of our flowering greenhouses. I'm standing in a field of Hashburger right now. MFNY Classics came about from mainly a lot of consumer feedback that we got. A lot of our legacy consumption community really was asking for a lot of strains from eras past. I kind of over time saw that intense demand, and it worked out well because I turned out to be an heirloom cultivar collector myself, so easy to make it happen. That's because of the nature in which we keep cultivars by cloning, which is not a natural process for the cannabis plant. The cannabis plant it's an annual plant and wants to die at the end of the year. Some of these cultivars that we have, they're in essence like, 30 plus years old. Being that that's an unnatural process, like over the years, whoever keeps these genetics alive, if different vectors or pest, disease, viruses can affect the plant over time and basically sap its energy away. So a clone zero plant is basically a plant that came from meristem dissection, atypical meristem dissection, or tissue culture as a lot of people know it. There's a couple different kinds of tissue culture, but the kind that I'm speaking of basically takes the very tip top of the plant and you generate a whole new plant from that DNA. The advantage to doing it that way, even though it's the more difficult way, is that potentially the new growth doesn't have the virus yet. Well, my perspective I think it's a more unique one in that, while I wasn't as much in the consumption community in New York at that time, I was heavily involved in working in the Emerald Triangle at that time. Sour diesel was heavily grown in that area during that time. So from a wholesaler's perspective and seeing a lot of bags and what was going, where, especially to New York, from my perspective, most of what I saw being grown is this version that we have. The structure of the nose, the smoke, most people grew this variety. I know there's a couple others, I'm well aware. What I saw was just the tip of the iceberg. It was indicative of what was really going on. And most people that grew sour at that time usually grew this strain. At a certain point, breeders breeding for modern cannabis strains really started focusing on bag appeal or the aesthetic of the flower versus just overall potency, because most buyers and even most consumers, given the opportunity, they look with their eyes first. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people say some of the older strains are more potent, is that they were selected for mainly for their strength more than anything. The profile combined with the effect. It's a strong head high that people, like New Yorkers especially, really resonates with them. A lot of New Yorkers love that. What I know as the real sour, it's got that real gassy front, and you get that super sour cream on the exhale. It's a look of the flower, and it's that unmistakable profile. Sour for me. I love gas, that sour cream. Honestly, try our MFNY's version, and it's like hopping in a time machine. The exhale, the batter, it's like a teleporting 15 years ago for me.